Hello and welcome back to another episode of Coleslaw of My Consciousness. So for this one, I do have another writing piece. It's a slightly different one. It's slightly biographical, I guess you could say, more based on like a personal experience that I'm currently going through than any story or anything that I've been working on. But potentially I could see maybe turning this into some sort of character for one of my writing pieces. But we'll see where that goes. In any case, I'm calling this piece the Allegory of the Spider, and we'll see how it goes from there. So, let's get started. I work at an aquarium as a freshwater aquarist. What this position essentially means is that I work mostly with herbs. So, reptiles such as snakes, lizards, tortoises, anything in that category, as well as amphibians, are the mainstay of what I take care of. And I also take care of some of the freshwater fish that are at my aquarium. However, there are also several of my exhibits that house invertebrates. I have several different types of beetles. I take care of a vinegaroon, and just recently I have come in charge of a desert tarantula as one of my exhibits. Now, I, like many people, am not particularly fond of spiders, but I am in charge of this desert tarantula exhibit. So I don't really get much say in the matter of if I like the animal or not. I just have to take care of it. So, in an effort to hopefully make it more easy to work with him, I've made a decision that I would like to name my desert tarantula. I'm going to call him Desi. You can think of it like Desi Arnaz, but mostly it was just a play off of the word desert, as like a nickname of desert is Desi. So however you want to look at it, I'm going to be calling him Desi. Now, I don't know how reputable my sources for this were, but I have heard somewhere that psychologically we do get more attached to things and animals if we give them a name. And because I am not fond of spiders, I am hoping that by giving him this name of Desi, it will make working with a tarantula a little less uncomfortable for me. And I'll start to see the animal behind the scariness and be respecting him as an animal and a creature of life instead of just being like, oh my gosh, it's a spider. I don't want to go anywhere near that exhibit or touch anything that's going on in that exhibit. And, recognize that there is an individual life going on there instead. So, with that in mind, it's time to go a little bit off of the deep end. How I want to make this into an allegory is by looking at some situations that perhaps you've encountered in your own life. Let's take a work or school situation, for example. Has there ever been anyone that you've had to work with that you have not wanted to work with? Something about their personality or their mannerisms or whatever just clashes with you and you're like, I cannot deal with this. Or, from a more religious perspective, have you ever felt like God has given you some sort of command, whether it's just one of the basic rules of your church or through some sort of prompting or feeling and urging to do something that you do not want to do? How do you handle situations like that? What are some ways to look at it? I think that one of the best ways to handle those situations would be trying to look at it like I am looking at Desi the spider. You look for a perspective that gives you a positive spin on it. For example, with the person at work, school, whatever, that you don't want to work with, you try to find something in their personality that you can relate to, some trait that you guys have in common, something of that effect that would make it easier to work together so that, yes, there's still this thing about them that bothers me, but I can respect them as a human being because, hey, look, we've got this thing that is in common between the two of us. Or if you look at that religious situation and you're seeing, oh, God is asking me to do this thing that I don't want to do. There's this command that's going on and I don't really want to go that direction, but I know it came from God, so I should probably do this thing. In that case, the perspective that I find most helpful is thinking, well, if God wants me to do this, even if it's not something that I really want to do, there must be a reason for it. So let's look for the reason that's within it and the searching and growth and progress that I can make for myself to become a better person by following this direction from God. So perhaps it doesn't seem that way to you, but that is basically the response that I was trying to have with Desi. And that's, again, how I'm trying to make this into an allegory. We'll see if it actually works out in the end or not, but I am trying to put on a brave face in this situation that I'm like, I'm not super comfortable with this, and taking care of an animal that I'm not super comfortable with into hopefully something that'll become very positive and a learning and growing experience for myself. So that's why I'm calling my tarantula Desi. Again, it is still early, so I can't say how effective any of this is going to be in the long run. Potentially, I could be posting updates about the situation with Desi and how it turns out. If anyone is interested, please just comment down below. But for now, that's my allegory of the spider, and this is Umlaut Herper signing out.